Normally we tend to make four kinds of mistakes while attempting the questions. The first kind of mistake that we do, or first kind of mistake that we do, is like we make an error in a simple question. Just by looking at the question, we think that it is very easy, and you tend to overlook the question.
Hello and welcome everyone on the fourth episode of UPSC CAPF. We today have with us Assistant Commandant Santosh Chandra sir, Sashastra Seema Bal. He's posted in Darjeeling currently. Sir, I have to say this that we the people of India are lucky to have a passionate soldier, an officer like you, who is commanding and is into the highest rank of CAPF forces. It's totally an honor, sir, having you with us today, and I welcome you
Thank
on
you,
Career
thank
Drive
you.
platform, sir. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sushil.
Sir, I actually want the aspirants to learn from your experiences. And also, sir, I got to know that you are an IITian too, sir. So I want to,
Yes, yes, yes.
I am more curious to know about you now. So if you could please tell us about your academic journey a bit, sir.
So I'm from Warangal, Telangana, and I've done my schooling in Warangal, and then I went to Hyderabad for my plus one and plus two. But in my first attempt, I could not clear JE, neither JE nor HFL, because I just got at that point of time I got carried away. Okay, so after 10th, you got too much of freedom, and because of that freedom, you tend to do many unnecessary things by which you get carried away.
Yeah.
So later on, uh, I realized that career is much important thing than this part-time thing. So then I took another attempt at JE. Then I've cleared JE, and then I was more interested toward mechanical engineering. So then I joined mechanical engineering at IIT Guwahati, and then later on I went. I was not so studious after getting into IIT because we were interested in many other extracurricular activities at that point of time. So
Yes.
basically, I'm a seven pointer. Okay, and I had actually going into IIT was more of my dad's passion rather than mine. Okay, he was more into this engineering stuff, and he once wanted to be an engineer, but somehow he ended up in the uniform force of the state police.
Yes.
So okay, then so for him, I have chosen the career of engineering, and then later on, during my childhood, I was impressed by my father in a way, and also because of the officers like IAS and IPS coming to our college, sorry, school days, school day functions. From that, I got inspired. So then I started preparing. Uh, I was dreaming of becoming one such officer in my future.
Yeah.
So uh, even during just after my IIT, I haven't opted for any placement kind of thing. Straight away, I went to Delhi for my civil services preparation, and after going there, started preparing for civil services. And in 2017, I've appeared for interview as well, but I lost the final selection by 7 marks. And in the same year, I've appeared for CAPF assistant commandant exam as well, and I secured 107, All India rank 107.
Yeah.
And then I was alerted to Sashastra Seema Bal, and I have joined SSB in the year 2019, and I finished my training in August 2020, and I'm right now posted in Darjeeling uh, from October 2020, and it's been like 1 year. I've been posted to my present location. So
That
this
was
is
that
how.
was really inspiring, sir. Yeah. Sir, I
Yes.
saw actually one of your Instagram posts, and it was basically a picture of your hand carrying a laptop bag, I guess. But what catch my
Yes.
attention was the caption, sir. It said that it's like reliving your school days, getting up early, wearing uniform and bag. Only difference is that I am the headmaster now, sir. So
Yes,
for
yes, yes.
me, and many other people. That was highly motivating. And you said that सर तो एक वो जो वर्दी में आता है ना सर वो प्राइड आ ही जाता है सर. What's your catch on
Yes,
that?
yes. See, I have seen my father wearing uniform right from my childhood, and many times I've used his lanyard. I've worn his cap.
Yes.
So, and I've used lathi as well, and I've seen live rounds. Okay, whenever I go to his police station, I used to get fancied by the weapons that they have. So I have this kind of affinity towards uniform. And at that point of time, CAPF assistant commandant is the Group A services, part of Group A service, and that is actually that was my plan B.
Yeah.
Okay, and it is no less than any other Group A service. Okay, so that way I could not clear civil services in 2017. So at that point of time, it was it was already too late for me to get settled down because it was like almost 3.5 to 4 years since I graduated. I graduated in 2014.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyways, after looking at this job profile, wearing that uniform and having the 3 stars on your shoulder, it has got that charm.
Yeah. Okay.
So in that way, I'm fascinated towards wearing uniform, and I'm happy with what I'm having right now.
That's really great, sir. Sir, talking about UPSC, it is a long journey, sir. And I want to know that what was your strategy that you followed throughout your preparation when we take in account UPSC CAPF specifically, sir?
Since I was preparing for civil services specifically, and the syllabus is very much in common. If you look at the syllabus for Central Police Forces and also for the UPSC Civil Services, the syllabus is very much similar. So most of my preparation for Central Armed Police Forces is very much based on my civil services preparation. So in paper 1 in CAPF, we have got 125 questions, out of which 100 will be from general studies and 25 will be from aptitude.
Yes.
Okay. So it is very much like the prelims paper 1 for civil services. So the questions will be of the same standard.
Yes.
So whatever preparation that I have done for my civil services prelims has helped me in clearing with good number of marks in CAPF paper 1.
Okay, sir.
So basically, so for clearing prelims, the thing that you need to do is like you have to finish your syllabus first, and then you have to do more number of mock tests because the time is very limited. That is like 2 hours, and
yes.
in that you have to just identify the answers because the answers are in front of you. It is not that you have to write the answers like for paper 2 or for the mains examination in civil services. So for that, you need to practice as much as possible with respect to mock tests. By that, you will gain the confidence. You will know how to manage your time. Okay. And you know how many iterations you have to make in the first 1 hour and in the next half an hour and subsequent half an hour. So that has helped me a lot in clearing CAPF Assistant Commandant examination in 2017.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Sir, covering the current affairs is a big task, and we have to go through newspapers and certain magazines as well. But for the new aspirants, sir, how should one read the newspapers in order to extract every bit of it? So how can one do that?
See, the first suggestion that I would like to give for any aspiration is first go through the syllabus. Without going through the syllabus, it is like without knowing the rules, you are playing again.
Yes.
It is very much like that. So
yes.
Without knowing the syllabus, how can you define or how can you set boundaries with respect to your newspaper? If you don't know the syllabus, you will end up reading the entire newspaper and
yes.
it will take like 4 to 5 hours, out of which you will gain nothing. So once you are thorough with your syllabus, then you will have an idea about what to read in the newspaper and what not to read. Okay. And these days you have too many coaching institutes digitally and also in offline mode where they will provide you with, you know, huge amount of materials.
Yes.
But however, going through newspapers will give you some kind of memory, you know, that the magazines may not give, the coaching institutes magazines may not give.
Yes.
Many times you will read the newspaper in some context, even though if you forget the details of it, but the context will have its imprint on your mind. And whenever you look at the prelims questions, you may not know the exact answer for that, but at least the context in which you were reading that topic while you're reading newspaper, it will help you in answering that question. So first, go through the syllabus, and when you are thorough with the syllabus, then you are in a position to pick what to read and what not to read in the newspaper. Maybe initially it may take 1.5 to 2 hours to read the newspaper, but over the time it will be reduced to 1 hour. Okay.
Yeah.
And some people can make notes. Okay. Or some people, they'll just read and they'll just jot down some kind of important things, and later on they go with one study material and they'll just revise that study material as much as possible. That is how the things with newspaper are.
Okay. Sir, when you were in your preparation phase, sir, so what is the resource list that you followed while you were preparing for this exam? And yeah, what all books are required, sir, other than NCERT specifically?
Other than NCERTs, first, NCERTs is a basic thing that everyone has to read who is aspiring to become, you know, a civil servant or an assistant commandant in Central Police. So, other than that, if we come by this order, like first in paper one, if we go by this order, for geography, you have to go through the NCERTs, that is the basic part, and the class notes. If you are going for a coaching kind of stuff, then you can take up any coaching coaching institute's class material. Since I have joined Wajiram, so I have got the material that was taught in my coaching center at that point of time. So I was revising both the coaching material that was provided from my coaching institute and NCERTs. And coming to history, for ancient history, NCERTs, for ancient and medieval, NCERTs, you know, more than enough. And there might be some questions which may be asked out of NCERT. That does not mean that you go and start searching for that one particular question and start reading some other book entirely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That question will never decide your selection normally, because that kind of questions may be answered by very few candidates.
Yes.
Okay. So that should not be a matter. That should not be a worry. You have to stick to your basics. That is what I would suggest. And for modern history, I would prefer first going through Bipin Chandra, because Bipin Chandra is very much analytical. Okay, when compared to Spectrum. Spectrum, it gives you too many facts. Okay, whereas Bipin Chandra, it gives you a proper analysis. So that is the difference. So if you are reading both Bipin Chandra and Spectrum, then it is more than enough.
Yeah.
Okay. And then coming to Indian society part, see, the thing is, like, you have to search each and every topic that is given in the syllabus, and you will find any good, you can find any material from any good institute. That will be enough. And much of the questions these days are asked from the current affairs, linking it to some kind of static part.
Yeah.
So that is how, yes, okay. And then coming to paper 2, Indian polity. Indian polity, you have to read with Lakshmikant. Lakshmikant is the Bible.
Yeah.
That is what it is. Like, the first book that every aspirant will buy is Lakshmikant.
Yeah, sir.
So Lakshmikant is much needed. And for international affairs, Subramanian ma'am notes will help. And coming to economics, Mrunal, I would prefer Munal.
Yeah.
Munal is the one who, who makes things pretty much easy.
Yes. He's
And
even having some lectures that are totally free on YouTube, I guess.
yes, 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 yes. He is doing every day, newspaper analysis with
Yeah.
respect to ethics, from ethics point of view.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. And so these are the books list that I would say for anyone. And for aptitude and reasoning, since I'm basically having an engineering background, that too from IIT, so I've never referred to any books as such because
Yes.
I was pretty confident that I can do this on my own.
Yes.
So that was never much a concern.
Sir, and what about general science? Are the NCRTs enough, or should we refer another material like Lucent and other stuff like that?
For general science, what I've done is like I've gone through the NCRTs. I've gone through the NCRTs, and since I'm basically from the science background, so the basic questions that are related to science or biology were not much of a concern for me. Like I was confident enough that I would be doing those questions. But however, I would suggest to go with the NCRTs and the current affairs material. During any current affairs material, whenever there is any current affairs thing that is related to science, they will give some kind of background with respect to that science, that science aspect. Okay, let's say if there is any kind of telescope that is being fixed, or that is being made, or that is being installed in some part of the world, they'll give you the working principle of a telescope.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Recently, we have got this gravitational waves. So from there, the current affairs material will give you some kind of background related to the fundamental particles. So from that way, you have to get your knowledge regarding to science. And even if you look at this year's paper, I haven't gone through the CAPS, but I have gone through the prelims paper because both are very much similar normally. So in that, the questions are basically asked from NCRT of chemistry in everyday life. There is one chapter in science, NCRT, chemistry in everyday life. Some questions were asked directly from that chapter. So NCRT is a must thing that you have to do for general science.
Okay. Sir, consistency is the key for UPSC, but people find that hard to maintain actually. So, sir, how can one maintain consistency all throughout the journey? And what would you suggest on that, sir?
See, the first is that you should have the will. So without that, nothing is possible. And then have a good circle. Always have a very good circle of friends or good circle of aspirants along with you. Okay. See, I've seen many people coming to Delhi, on some kind of pressure from the parents or something else. They don't have the real zeal or motivation to get into the services. Okay. Some people may get offended by this, but however, it's a hard fact.
Yeah, so that's actually true.
Yes. So that is the reason you need to be in a very good circle, because being part of that good circle, you will always, at times you may get demotivated by looking at the marks of others, but however, it is how you get motivated from others. Okay. So first having will, and then maintain good circle and take some breaks in between. Okay. It's not that you completely dedicate. Maybe after every 15 days, you can go and watch a movie to just rejuvenate yourself. Okay. On Sunday evening, okay, have a good meal, go to a movie. And again, from Monday, again, you start your schedule.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. See, since it is like a marathon, you cannot exhaust yourself in one single day. Yes. Okay, you have to keep giving your little efforts every day. Okay. So that is how you can maintain consistency. And another thing that I would like to share is like with respect to the paper one in CAPF or for the prelims examination for CSE. Normally, we tend to make four kinds of mistakes while attempting the questions. The first kind of mistake that we do, or first kind of mistake that we do, is like we make an error in a simple question. Just by looking at the question, we think that it is very easy, and you tend to overlook the question, or you tend to uh, just not reading the question entirely.
Yes.
So the first kind of mistake is making an error in a very simple and straightforward question. Okay, we tend to overlook the question, or we tend to misread the question, or we do not find the keyword in the question. Sometimes, like when the question is asked whether the following statements are correct, or there will be like not correct, but however, we are in a mood to solve the question and we do not see that not word, and
Yes.
you end up making that kind of mistake. So that kind of mistakes shall be avoided at all costs, because whoever has has prepared for this exam seriously, definitely they will be they will be making a right answer for that question. They will be getting 2 marks. If you lose on that question, you have lost those 2 marks, and as well as a negative of 0.66.
Yes.
So in that kind of questions, you should not do any kind of mistakes. Initially, you may make 6 to 7 questions, such kind of mistake in 6 to 7 questions. And over the time, by practice, you have to be careful, and you have to minimize this kind of errors as much as possible. It comes only by practice.
Yes.
Okay, so that is the first kind of question. And second we make is like the factual errors. So the factual errors, as in, let's say there was a question in 2016 or 17. I don't remember exactly, but it was a question about the National Institutional Infrastructure Fund, and it has got a corpus of around 40,000 or 30,000 crores of something of that sort. UPSC has doubled or tripled the number.
Hmm.
Okay, so at that point of time, either if you know the exact figure, that's well and good. But the tendency is that we may not remember each and every fact.
Yes.
Okay, but by intuition at that point of time, you just need to know whether this kind of number is fitting in that scheme or not, in that scheme, or whatever the question is.
Hmm.
Okay, so by that logic, or by that intuition, you can reduce the factual errors, and also by making that mistake, you have to go back to the answer key, and you have to remember that fact for sure.
Yeah.
From that point of time.
Yes.
Since you have made a mistake, assuming that this would be the right answer, but it turned out to be wrong. So from that you will get a memory. So whenever a similar question that has been asked in the main UPSC examination, you will be in a position to recall that and make it a right one. So that is the second kind of mistake. And the third kind of mistake that we do is we do not completely know the question, but however we attempt that question, assuming certain things.
Yes.
Okay. So if you do not completely know the question, though, please don't attempt. Okay. Don't go for the fluke kind of thing. It may or it may not work, and in most of the time it won't work.
Yes.
Okay. Most of the times it won't work. So while you practice in your mock test, whenever you get such kind of questions, go back to the key and get the information for that question from that key.
Yeah.
You may not read the entire current affairs, and some questions may not come from the books that you have read. So you have got some kind of additional information while doing your mock test.
Yes.
Okay. So from that you can gain that extra little bit knowledge that the answer key provides.
Yes.
So that is that is a third kind of mistake that we will do. Yes, the fourth one is the conceptual part. So you have read something and you have gained some kind of concept with respect to that topic. But however, when you apply it in the question paper, it turns out completely wrong. Okay.
Yes.
So that kind of errors that we all make. So while doing the mock test, so when you get to know that your concept is entirely wrong, you have to unlearn what you have read till now, what you have learned till now, and you have
Yes.
to relearn again. So by that way, you can reduce your conceptual errors. So after every mock test, you need to segregate your mistakes into these four categories, and you have to work accordingly.
Yes.
For silly mistakes, you have to be more careful whenever you look at a very easy question.
Yes.
Just treat it like any other question, any other normal question, and go through it properly. By that, you can minimize that. Related to factual part, you have to, if you know the fact straight away, fine, it's well and good. If you do not know, you have to have that intuition to check whether this number fits in that scheme or fits in that question. Okay, it comes by intuition and also by reading. After reading too many schemes, you will be having a fair idea like whether this number fits in it or not. Like with respect to Agni missile, let's say Agni missile, if I say Agni 5 will go to like 10,000 kilometers,
Yes, sir.
it won't. It won't. Straight away, you know that.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yes.
by having general idea, you can put that statement as wrong. That is how it is. And with respect to the unknown questions or the questions that you completely do not know, get the information from the key. And the fourth one is the conceptual part. With respect to the conceptual part, go back to your standard textbook, unlearn what you have read, relearn. So this way, when you do it for at least 30 to 40 question papers, then who can stop your selection?
Yes.
So that is how you have to go ahead with doing the mock test and preparing for paper one.
Yes. These advice, sir, were actually very priceless, sir. Okay. Sir, talking about the interview, sir, how was your interview experience and facing the UPSC panel? And what actually were the kind of questions that were asked to you there? And if there is any interesting aspect of your interview that you would actually like to share with us, sir?
So the most interesting aspect that I would say is like as soon as I've entered the interview, the member of UPSC's chamber, okay, they were having a glance at my DAF, and they have, IIT is one such word in our Indian society which grabs attention of any individual.
Yes.
Okay, after looking at that, they have asked like, okay, so you're an IIT. Yeah, I said yes. Then the UPSC, the board chairman, he has asked me to look at a wall clock which was there on his left side and to my right side. Okay, and do you know there is some small chip in that wall clock? Now it's an electronic one, and which will be cost like which will be of worth of 5 rupees or 10 rupees, and India even can't manufacture that chip even today.
Yes.
So, and then he asked like, do you know why? I said, I do not know. Sir. Then this was my first question actually.
Yes.
Then he straight away said that it is because of you guys.
Okay.
Because you do your graduation from IIT and then you shift your career to something else, and the public has spent too much of money on you. So I was taken aback, and an interview was going on. They were asking some other questions, okay, and later on there was, I think it was member 3 or member 4, and he started asking about my engineering. So then he asked like, why did you do your engineering? Then he said, sir, it was my father's dream at one point of time, because we have NIT Warangal, and NIT Warangal has got that charm even during my father's childhood days. So he wanted to get get admission into NIT Warangal. At that point of time, we used to call it as REC, Regional Engineering College. So, but he could not make it to REC Warangal. So he wanted me to get into this engineering stuff. So then I've cracked it, and I've entered it. I've entered this IIT system. And then they asked, like, then why did you opt for civil services? Then I said, sir, it's my passion. And then after these two questions, he asked, like, have you watched Three Idiots?
Hmm.
Then I said, yes, sir. So what was the core theme of that? It's like one has to follow his own passion.
Yeah.
Okay, we know that. Amir Khan has pursued his passion,
Yeah.
and even Madhavan, he has fought with his father to follow his passion.
Yeah.
So, and then again he asked whether have I watched Dangal?
Hmm.
Okay, and Dangal, you see the same Amir Khan portraying as a father who was pushing his kids to do something big.
Yeah.
Okay, so then they have tried to make an analogy between these two stories and my engineering and my civil services passion. So what they have asked is, like, let's assume your father is like Amir Khan. He was trying to push you to make an engineer, and if you would have pursued engineering because your father is backing you, you would have become something big in that field.
Yeah.
And if you follow this Three Idiots path, since you are passionate about civil services, you may do something good, or you may become an officer in a future date. So which one is the right path? So
A bit intense.
yes, and I was actually, very much impressed by, the kind of conversation that was going at that point of time.
Yes. Yes.
We never see the things are, completely impromptu.
Yeah.
See, trying to correlate two movies with my background, I have never imagined this kind of, analogy in my life. Never, never ever. So I said, sir, maybe till certain point of time, you need a guide. Maybe it can be your father, your mother, or someone else. Maybe after certain point of time, you need to take your decisions.
Yes.
So that is how I've answered it. And I believe at that point of time I've made a decent answer. I've come up with a decent answer, but never know how they have perceived it. That is how, the most interesting part of my entire this UPSC interview is this one, I would say.
That was really great, sir. That the things you shared. Okay, sir. I want to actually hear more about Officers Training Institute (SSB) and what actually is the daily routine of an officer trainee there. And I'm sure, sir, those memories are unforgettable memories that will follow lifetime, sir.
Yes. See, once you wear uniform, things, and that too in a force,
Hmm.
things will be, you will get a culture shock. The first part is that you will get a culture shock. They will make you do those things that you have never imagined in your life that you would do. I'll share with you one piece of article that I have written for the official magazine of SSB Academy. Okay, it will give you a glimpse kind of thing. Okay, how many kilometers we have run.
Hmm.
Okay, how many push-ups we have done, and what kind of route marches, for how much long we have done our route marches. Okay, it will give you a glimpse of our training. And coming to the daily schedule, by 5:30, you have to report at the PT ground.
Yeah.
Okay, so for that you have to get up at 4:45. Okay, so by 5:30 you have to be present at the PT ground. After PT, you'll be having your drill.
Hmm.
Okay, and after drill you will be having like 45 to 1 hour break. So in that break it is for the breakfast, and then after that you have to wear your khaki uniform and go to the classes for your indoor part. Okay, it will go until 1 o'clock, and 1 to 3 is break, and by 3 o'clock again we have to wear the camouflage, and we have to rush for weapon training. And after weapon training, there will be a break for half an hour to 45 minutes, and then you will have your either games period, okay, or otherwise you may be going for extra PT if you are weak in doing some kind of obstacle course, or if you are weak in any other part.
Yes.
And then finally the day concludes by the roll call, which will be usually at 6:37. And after that you'll be having your dinner, and you'll go to sleep by 9:30, because again you have to get up at 4:30 in the morning.
These things, sir, actually
In a day,
motivate an aspirant a lot, sir.
and in a day you will be changing at least 6 to 7 uniforms.
Yeah.
You have one uniform for your PT, one for the drill, one for the indoor class, and one for your weapon, one for your sports, that is the evening sports period, and one for the roll call. And once you get into your rooms, you can't wear anything as you want to get into your mess, officer's mess.
Okay.
Okay. So 6 to 7 uniforms in a day.
तो मतलब यूपीएससी के लिए वी आर प्रिपेयरिंग एंड वी आर थिंकिंग कि एक वर्दी चाहिए बस विद स्टार्स ऑन एंड यूपीएससी इज गिविंग अस 7 uniforms. That's really great, sir.
Yes. CABF gives you that.
Yeah. Okay.
And in SSB, you don't have stars, okay? You will be wearing a red flap. Only
Yes, I
after the
saw
POP,
that.
you will be, yes. Only after your POP, you will have that peeping ceremony, and only on that day, you'll be having your 3 stars on the shoulder.
Yeah. That's really great, sir. Okay. Sir, how is the life on other side, sir? Having huge responsibilities of nation and even taking in account of your juniors, your subordinates, taking care of them too, and what all things are there that an assistant commandant is supposed to do when he's in command, sir?
See, most of the time, you will be dealing with the personal management, okay? And you will be having your operational duties, okay? And you have to maintain your control and command through discipline and the welfare at the same time. Discipline and welfare, they go hand in hand, okay? You cannot be completely, completely welfare. Welfare is actually a good word, but in forces, it is seen as some kind of, loosening the reins, okay? When you are too much soft on your subordinates, there is a high possibility that some force personnel may take advantage of it.
Yes.
Okay. So you have to maintain your command and control, and at the same time, you have to ensure that all your under command is happy. They're well equipped with every aspect.
That's actually a very big task, sir, to do. Keeping your subordinates happy and even not breaking the discipline thing. Yeah.
Yes. It becomes a little bit challenging.
Yes. Okay. Sir, I am actually very much excited to know about the perks of being an assistant commandant, sir. Sir, I've seen these things on Quora. They write just things like, what are the perks of being an assistant commandant? How are the family accommodations here? So, sir, I would like to hear it from you, sir. What actually are the perks?
See, the perks, first coming to the pay structure, you will be starting your pay at pay matrix 10, that is 56,100.
Yes.
And over that, you will be having your DA, TPT. Okay. And when you are provided with government accommodation, then you won't receive HRA. Otherwise, you will receive HRA according to the place of your posting. And you will be receiving a hardship allowance based on your posting. Now we have this HR matrix, okay? Hardship and risk allowance. Okay, it depends on the area that you are posted. An operational strength of at least 90 in your company, and you will be commanding 90 personnel. Okay, the operational strength.
Yes.
Okay, and you will be given Sarkari Gadi. And you will be getting, and the bigger thing is like you will be saying at least Jai Hind for 100 plus times in a day.
Yeah. With pride.
Yes, you will get at least 100 salutes a day, 100 odd salutes.
That's what you earn when you are in the uniform.
Yes.
Sir, and this is actually the thing that matters the most. The pay scale, the other things, sir. But this is actually the thing. Earning 100 salutes a day, that's a big task that one achieves through his life.
Yes, you will feel proud of it.
Yeah.
Okay, you'll definitely feel proud of it.
Okay. Sir, we are now moving towards the final bout of the session, sir. And I would like to hear it from you, sir. What are your final words of suggestion or motivation for the young people out there preparing to get into the uniform services, sir?
See, consistency is the key.
Yeah.
Yes, you have to be consistent about what you are doing. Okay, you have to be very consistent. See, I have seen a quote, some kind of mathematics quote in one of my friend's room. It is like, it says that 0.99 to the power of 100. Okay, at the same time, 1.01 to the power of 100. Okay, just look at what is 0.99 to the power of 100 is,
Yes.
and what 1.01 to the power of 100. The difference is too less. Like how
Yes.
much it is? 0.02.
Yes.
Okay, if you are putting that 1.01 effort for 100 days, see the end result. And if you are putting 0.99, that is below par, okay, subpar, for 100 days, look at the final number. So you will have a very big difference between these two numbers.
Yes, sir.
See, that is how it is.
Yeah.
So that is a huge difference.
Yes.
So always keep putting efforts every day for 365 days.
Okay, sir. Sir, I would like to thank you. Thanks for the session, sir. It was actually very inspiring. And thanks a ton for all your time, despite of such a hectic schedule. You gave your precious time and you shared your experiences with us. We are fortunate enough that we got to hear it from you, your experiences and everything, sir. But just thank you. And also, I hope that you had great experiences being here with us on Career Tribe, sir.
Okay, thank you, Umesh. The pleasure is also mine. Okay, all the best for your channel. Okay, keep doing more such videos. Okay.
Thanks. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Jai Hind.